You remember the VHS cover, the purple background, Sinbad, dressed as a genie, arms crossed. You rented this movie as a kid, except it was never made. This is the story of Shazaam, a children's film that thousands of people insist they watched in the 1990s. Sinbad, playing a genie, granting wishes to two kids. They remember the plot, the costume, even the cover art. There's just one problem. No studio ever made it. No copy of it has ever surfaced. And Sinbad himself has spent years publicly saying it never existed. The first trace of this goes back to 2009. An anonymous post appeared online asking if anyone remembered a Sinbad genie movie from the 90s. At first, barely anyone replied, but within a few years, that changed completely. People started showing up with vivid details. The kids fighting over a lamp in an attic, a pool party where the father's boss gets humiliated, a final wish to help their widowed dad find love again. Many had never seen each other's posts, and yet the descriptions started lining up. So how do thousands of strangers end up with the same specific memory of something that was never real? We'll get to that. Here's where it gets stranger. This wasn't just a vague, half-remembered feeling. People described specific scenes. The cover art, Sinbad in a golden turban standing beside a young boy. Some claim to remember renting it from Blockbuster. This is exactly the pattern behind what's now called the Mandela Effect, a term for a shared false memory that spreads because it feels more real the more people repeat it. Named after the original case, where hundreds of people swore they remembered a political leader dying in prison decades before he actually died. Shazaam became one of the most famous examples of that phenomenon. But knowing the label doesn't answer the real question. Why did so many separate brains land on the exact same false memory? There's a genuinely compelling one. In 1996, a real movie did come out with an almost identical plot. Shazaam, starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie, freed from a boombox by a young boy trying to reconnect with his father. The names sound nearly identical. Shazaam, Shazaam. Both feature a 90s celebrity as a genie. Both involve kids and absent parents. And here's the detail that connects them directly. A preview for Shazaam was reportedly included on VHS copies of a separate Sinbad comedy released that same year, which means kids renting a completely different Sinbad movie may have watched a trailer for Shazaam right before or after the film itself. Two separate memories watched back to back, slowly merging into one over years without anyone noticing it happen. There's more. Sinbad had actually worn genie-style outfits before, just not in a movie. He hosted a TV marathon of Sinbad the Sailor films in the 1990s and dressed the part for it. A costume, a public appearance, a vague memory of Sinbad and genie existing somewhere in the same sentence. Combine that with a real genie movie that came out the same year with an almost matching title, and you get the exact ingredients needed to manufacture a convincing false memory in millions of separate minds, independently, with no coordination at all. Sinbad has addressed this directly many times for over a decade. He stated plainly that he never played a genie in a movie and pointed out that people are likely confusing him with Shaquille O'Neal's role. He's joked about it publicly, referencing the mix-up on social media for years. At one point, he even took part in a comedy sketch featuring fake, lost footage of the supposed film. And still, the memories persisted. People online have argued, in complete sincerity, that a conspiracy must be responsible. Not because there's evidence for any of that, but because the alternative, that their own memory manufactured something from nothing, feels harder to accept. Researchers who study memory say this isn't rare at all. One cognitive researcher has explained that people often remember things the way they expect them to be, rather than how they actually were, because the brain processes daily life quickly, filling in gaps without us noticing. Under that lens, Shazaam isn't really about one missing movie. It's proof of something bigger. That memory doesn't work like a recording. It works like a reconstruction, rebuilt every time you recall it, shaped by suggestion and whatever similar memories happen to be sitting nearby. which means somewhere in your own memory, right now, there could be a detail exactly this wrong. There is no Shazaam, no VHS tape, no hidden vault, no conspiracy. Just a name close enough to a real movie, a costume worn for the wrong reason, and millions of brains that filled in the gap the same way, independently. The scariest part of this mystery was never a missing film. It's that your own memory can manufacture something detailed, vivid, and completely false, and hand it to you as fact.